Oh, it's Jason.
Hi.
Oh, and see? This is why Jason is never going to come back.
There are so many of me. It's perfect.
Well, sorry, that's why Jason will come back. There are so many Jasons. Hi.
How are you?
Oh, just grand. It's been almost a year of us doing this show.
Oh my God, really?
Really.
It's fantastic. I'm so glad somebody's working.
Right?
But I'm not bitter.
No. It's hard out here.
For a pimp.
Well, I would never say such a thing about you. Or your willingness.
By the way, somebody must have canceled because you invited me to come do this yesterday afternoon, and of course you knew I'd be available. It's like, yeah, I got nothing.
You know you are always my first choice.
Thank you.
Indeed.
And you mine. I'm so glad that you gave me, a reason to live today. It's fantastic.
We're going to show the video of you at the Pantages.
Oh, really? Is there a video?
There is.
Okay, I sent it.
Do you remember that video? Do you have any recollection of it?
I remember sending it to you about an hour ago. Yes, it holds a special place in my heart, that video. It was Stephen Schwartz's, who wrote Wicked. It was his 60th birthday party.
He didn't just write Wicked. He wrote Godspell. He wrote Pippin. I think of any show on Broadway that uses just a primary color as their advertisement. Oh, that's green. That must just be Stephen Schwartz. That's Wicked. Oh, look, it's red. That must be Godspell.
Godspell.
Look.
That's true.
It's kind of a royal blue purple primary.
For Pippin.
For Pippin.
That was Pippin. Good, You're right. That's so true.
Yeah.
Transcends marketing. He just is a color. He's amazing. He's amazing. So yes, I sang for the Actors Fund, did a big celebration for him in the lobby of the Pantages Theater for his 60th birthday.
All right, I didn't understand. I watched it, and there was one reference that you made where you're like, hey, maybe next time you can be in theater. And I thought you said in theater. Yeah, got it. Got it. It's very funny, and I debate about whether we talk for a little while, then show that video, and then come back and talk more, or if we sign off and let you go about the rest of your day in your amazing home in Hollywood.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. It's your show, so I'm game for whatever you desire.
Well, what I would like to do is talk just a little bit, not reminiscent about all of the hell that we've been going through with the pandemic, but talking a little bit more about your roots in Oklahoma. And we didn't really talk much about your oboe. And
my roots?
You don't have roots anymore.
I don't. It's all natural, baby.
Looking good. Looking good. And the oboe plays a very important part in your cabaret shows, and we barely touched on it last time we spoke.
Well, you've heard me play, and so there was a reason why you didn't want to touch on it too much.
That's not true. You're a very talented oboe player.
Thank you. Well, now, I don't play as well. My lip is shot. Yes, it's like you have to practice for hours in order. I think you develop calluses on your lip.
Oh, wow.
But I know now when I play, my lip is just turns to jelly after, playing for a half hour. It's So, trumpet players, reed players, double reed players, they gotta keep those lips in shape. Your embouchure.
Ooh.
Not to throw around any French for your listeners today, but it's your embouchure, it's your lip positioning. So that's what I found. I found everything else. The breath control, singing has only helped my breath control for playing oboe. And, the fingerings that all that stuff sticks, but my endurance with my lip, of all things.
And that's interesting to me because I thought that the last couple of times that I saw you play the oboe, which is always a lot of fun because you tease it as well. You keep a reed in a little glass of water. Just
Yes.
like, oh, my goodness. What's this for? But it seemed to me that you were able to position the oboe at different points. Like you could move it around on your lip. Is that wrong?
I don't know that you're supposed to do that. I might be doing that. I don't think they say, be sure to move that oboe all over the place when you're playing. That might be the aforementioned jello lips, where I just like playing like that. You are supposed to, the goal is to hit the center of your mouth, like that bottom lip, and then put your upper lip over it, like that. And that's how you play. And, I did. I played oboe in the band with our friend Mary Jane Miller at Tulsa Edison High School. We were in the marching band together. Now, it's hard to march with an oboe, so usually oboe players play something else. But I tried doing it with the oboe, and I broke my reed every time because you're like doing that. But yes, I really was serious about the oboe, and I even was an oboe major in college at SMU in Dallas. And I guess really the thing that like cinched it for me was that I just hated making reeds. You have to make your oboe reeds. They're tiny little reeds. Wish I had one sitting right here, but they're tiny reeds made of cane, and you got to whittle them down. You got to wrap them over a cork with a little metal thing coming out of it, and you got to wrap it with this special thread, and then you got to whittle and just adapt it to your embouchure.
Sure.
And so I never. Sure.
Are you Bashore?
What?
Are you Bashore?
I'm pretty sure that that's correct.
I'm sure that's correct.
So nicely done, by the way. And it's a pain. And they say for every 20 reeds that you work on, one of them comes out well. And so I would come home, I was supposed to be like after rehearsals and at my SMU orchestra rehearsals and band rehearsals, I was supposed to go home and make reeds all night while the whole rest of the band and orchestra was out having fun, having drinks at a restaurant and, hanging out. I was supposed to go home and make reeds. And I was like, that's not for me. So I never made a reed that I liked. Unlike Will Rogers' Will Rogers, who said he never met a man he didn't like. I actually never met an oboe reed that I did like, that I made. It was never good.
Well, I was going to say, is that something that you can outsource? Like, can you?
Yes.
Okay. But
you can't, but really oboists, that's part of their trade, is to make their own reeds. I have continued through the years to buy them from places, and there's really good places to buy them. But it's so specific to your own, mouth that That's why you have to make your own. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I admire those oboists, but I don't envy them.
So what I may be thinking of is, like, you would actually use the oboe and like, it wasn't just a very static position that you were in when you would play. You would kind of dance with it. It would become part of the act.
Yes, that I do. I move it around. Mm-hmm. I Benny Goodman it.
Yeah.
It's not usually how the oboe's played, but I like to be expressive with my oboe playing.
Expressive is never a word I would have put to you.
Expressive, I know.
Mm-hmm.
I know, I'm so boring. My eyebrows.
Yeah, very run of the mill, and yeah.
Thanks. You're not the first person that's ever said that to me. Here's the weird thing, though. My oboe player at SMU, who shall remain nameless, DeVere Moore. he played
was our special surprise guest for you in just a moment.
my DeVere Moore is here. This is your life.
Ladies and gentlemen, DeVere Moore.
DeVere, forgive me. That would be my nightmare. I really didn't like the way he played. And I got to tell you this, Jen, he was not first or second chair in the Dallas Symphony, but he was third chair. I got the third chair oboist. Like, I felt like I at least deserved the second chair. So he played very Germanically and very like honky and loud and blatty. And I had more of a refined French sound that my oboe teacher in Tulsa, Walter Kessler, who was the principal oboist of the Tulsa Philharmonic.
Ladies and gentlemen, Walter Kessler.
Oh my God, Walter! I thought you died 25 years ago. That's amazing to see you. That's incredible. He was the best. He was just incredible. And but he always made my own reeds. Anyway, I didn't like De Vere's playing. And when he played, his adenoids would go, and he would turn beet red, and the sound was terrible. And I just really found it unappealing.
Yeah, that's awful.
So I quit, and then I transferred to Cincinnati Conservatory of Music, where I got accepted as an oboe major and also a musical theater major. And the year that I transferred to Cincinnati Conservatory, De Vere Moore transferred.
No.
So that was like a sign.
That oboe was, yeah.
Put down the oboe, pick up the score to pajama game. That's what I did.
Smart. And we should revisit the incredible list of credits that you have after picking up the
I can never hear them enough. I can never hear them enough, Jen. Go right ahead.
So, Forever Plaid, original cast member.
Guilty.
We still hear you, for those of us that enjoy SiriusXM 72 on Broadway. We hear you in that.
That's good.
Yes. I'm sure you get like 5 cents on a check from
If that.
PM. Yeah.
No, they do. Those things actually, but you get some checks. It's kind of nice.
That's good.
I'll take it.
But you were also, as we will hear in the video that we're going to show a little bit later, in the off-Broadway cast of Godspell.
Well, I was. Not the original company, which opened in 70-ish.
Yeah,
68.
you were an infant, right? You were a thought in your parents' eye?
Something like that. Yeah, if it was in the 60s, I think, Godspell. It opened before Pippin, and Pippin opened around 7. I don't know. I think they were both around 70. But Godspell came first. So maybe Pippin was 72. I don't know. I'm just talking. But yes, so my first job in New York, like a month after didn't we talk about this last time? About a month after I moved to New York, I got it.
Right, with Scott Bakula in the
With
role.
Scott Bakula as Jesus.
Yeah.
Very hot Jesus.
Yeah.
Who knew? Who knew Jesus could be that hot?
So I want to focus kind of around Stephen Schwartz, though, because we talked about Jerry Herman last time and
Yes.
the incredible relationship you got to forge with him. You told one Stritchy story. Just one. And I know you have more. I know you have more. But first, let's build to the video. So what other Stephen Schwartz interactions did you have?
Interesting. That's fun to think about. So Godspell was my New York debut, but Stephen Schwartz was not involved with that. That was at the Equity Library Theater. And so he did not play a part in it. I think he came to see it. So I don't think I think I met him, briefly, but that was that. Then I did a lot of, Stephen was at ASCAP and BMI, the songwriter groups, and he would lead a lot of the critiques. I would do presentations of new musicals, and a very interesting song team that I worked with when they first met, and I was there every step of the way up until their huge success with Ragtime, with Steve Flaherty and Lynn Ahrens. And so I had gone to school at Cincinnati with Steve Flaherty, and they had just met in one of the BMI songwriting workshops. And so they were writing a musical version of Bedazzled. So I did all the readings, workshops, demo tapes of that. And we would perform it for Stephen Schwartz, Stephen Sondheim, Charles Strauss, all the Broadway royalty. But Stephen Schwartz was very, very active in helping other songwriters with their work. Very, very generous with his time. And so, yeah, I was kind of there when that germ was developing, and they're just fantastic. And I worked with them a lot through the years. So I sang for Stephen a lot in those presentations. So I got to know him that way. Then when I moved out to Los Angeles, he wrote a musical version it was like a musical version of Pinocchio called Geppetto, starring that great musical comedy star, Drew. What was his last name? Drew
Carey?
Drew Carey. I have all his albums. Yes, Drew Carey. And he was very popular then. And he played Geppetto. Yeah, it was kind of wild. He and Julia Louis-Dreyfus, just musical theater stars galore.
Oh, my goodness.
And I can't remember who else was in it, but Stephen wrote this really beautiful score. And I had a very small part, but I was a principal. All the small parts were played by Broadway performers.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of funny. We were all like, I had like 3 lines, and we were like in a little group stuff. And I think my solo line was, "No, dear, you almost broke that." And I know a lot of your viewers will remember that.
Sure, yes. What did you feel a collective sigh of relief from the audience when a real Broadway performer would have their moment? Did you feel that kind of,
thank
okay.
God. There was a sigh from us, because of course we were all in the back like, but yeah, it was interesting because the score was great. Stephen Schwartz is such a great writer. And it was beautiful to look at. Tom Moore directed it, and he knows his way around musicals. And Jerry Mitchell choreographed it, who's a big, Broadway Tony Award-winning choreographer. But it just wasn't everything. And so, but I did get to know Stephen then, and that was kind of the first time I'd gotten paid to work with him. And then I did a couple concerts with him, with he and Karen Morrow. We performed at several ASCAP events around the country. And so we got to, really work closely with them with that. And then years went by.
Karen has been here on the campus, by the way. So some of the residents here will remember her from lovely donated performances that she's done on campus.
One of the greatest singers of all time, yep. Karen Morrow.
Yep.
Just couldn't love her more. We've worked together a lot, and I do just adore her. She got so many good stories too. And so, yes, so we got to know Stephen well on that. And then kind of a long period of time went by, and then I got Wicked. And then I got to see him a lot.
So when was his 60th birthday? Before Wicked or after the Torco of Wicked?
It was before I did Wicked.
Okay.
I think it was around when the first sit-down company that came to the Pantages and sat here for months. I think it was during that time. So Megan Hilty was playing Glinda. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of a big deal that they'd asked me to sing Popular. She pretended like she was really pissed off, but she was hilarious. She loved that somebody else was singing it.
Do you think that opportunity from the Actors Fund to sing, like, once again in front of him at that time period helped get you the Wizard a little bit? Not that you wouldn't get it from your own merits, but sometimes when you're right under somebody's nose, they're like, oh, of course, yeah. They're like, duh.
I think it could have helped. When Wicked opened, I was too young to play the Wizard, and now obviously I'm not. So when I did that Popular with Stephen, it's funny watching his reactions, because there's sometimes he looks at me like, who is this clod? You could just feel him just like, ugh. And I was pretty cheeky with him. I was pretty like...
And you were like handsy too. Like,
very handsy.
I hope that you guys are excited and are going to stay tuned, because we will show you this video. It is so well worth it. Okay. So, yeah.
Teasers galore.
dropping them like little breadcrumbs. So yeah, you were very handsy. You were very cheeky. I loved his reaction, but it is interesting to look at the whole stage picture that you created. Like, how much time did you work just on that presentation? Because it is Jason Graae.
You know, that's so sweet of you. Thank you. I had done it for, I think he had another birthday at Town Hall in New York. And the director said, you know what would be really fun is if you sang Popular. And I thought, and I hadn't even seen Wicked at that point, and I was like, that's Kristen Chenoweth's song. I can't sing Popular. I don't understand what you're talking about. He goes, I think it could be funny. So he just assigned it to me. He was in New York. I was in L.A. And then I flew to New York, and the day of the show, I got together with my brilliant musical director, Alex Rybeck. And I said, okay, let's just say no no's. We're not going to use no. Like, that's not a good idea. Let's just, like, anything, and if you have any ideas, throw them at me. I said I got some stuff that maybe we could do, and I was just firing on all cylinders. I was very nervous, and we didn't have a lot of time to put it together. And we threw it together really, really fast. And he's very game, and a little gamey sometimes, but mostly game. And we did it that night, and it went really great. So somebody who had seen that said, what would you think about singing this to Stephen Schwartz? And I said, that'd be great. And so a lot of it was by the seat of my pants. You know, some of the shtick was, of course, figured out and with the musical director. And Georgia Stitt plays the piano, Jason Robert Brown's wife, who's also an incredible composer.
And her timing, not just like timing, but her timing in the jokes that are set up. Just, again, genius. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Which is why I thought... Yeah. Oh, this was something that you had kind of massaged a bit and were ready to take a few bigger risks. There's, if you don't know the song Wicked, there is a forced rhyme about midway through that when you're watching it in the show, the character that this comes out of the mouth of, you kind of accept that, yeah, Glinda is going to do that. But when you do it, I just want people to understand, in the context of the show, the correction of that rhyme is real. And you take every opportunity that all of us who love Broadway theater wish we had the opportunity to say to Stephen Schwartz in that moment.
I love that. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's also one of those songs when I saw Wicked, Popular, when Kristen sang that, I just went, ugh. That's Stephen Schwartz at his very, very best. And that song, I believe I fell out of my chair when it happened. It's one of the great, great musical theater songs. So it's been part of my repertoire now forever. I probably am a little stale with it now, but, you know, whatever.
Well, if you want to take a moment to warm up and just hit us with it now, I'll vamp.
Sure, let me do my warm up. Okay, I think I'm good. I opened the shades a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
It's getting dark in here.
A little. And now you're blue and bright.
Is it too bright?
No.
I looked like I had rosacea before.
No, you're fine.
Okay, good.
All right. Let's talk for a few minutes before we go to this awesome video, because I also found a different video when you were hosting the Bistro Awards. That I very nearly was like, I'm going to play these back to back, but I will just play the Stephen Schwartz one. Let's talk for a second about your incredible life at home, because it has been almost a year of being in one place, which I would guess for you, that hasn't happened in a long, long, long time.
Not since I was 4.
Like, without
going anywhere. Without, like, this is the longest that I've ever stayed.
I mean, without exaggeration, because for you, that could very well be. Your mom was on the road a bit and acting, and so has it really been since you were 4 that you have not been literally in the same place?
Well, we moved a lot, and my mom got divorced, and so then I picked up from Chicago, moved to Oklahoma, and then we lived in Oklahoma City for a while, and then we moved to Tulsa, and so we, and then I was flying back and forth between my mom and my dad to see him all the time, and I was going to band camps and drama camps and things like that. So this is the longest time I've not been on an airplane. I have to say I don't miss it. I don't miss traveling right now. Although leaving from Burbank Bob Hope Airport is so much more desirable than LAX. But I do not miss that whole rigmarole. I don't miss packing. I've enjoyed being home. We're getting on the road. My husband and I, on Thursday, we're driving to, so I actually have a job. And I'm hosting a gala for a theater company in San Francisco, the 42nd Street Moon Theater Company that I've worked at several times. And so I'm going to drive up because I don't want to get on a plane. Who wants to get on? I have friends that are flying now. Have you been on a plane?
Not in a year, which it hasn't been since 4 for me, but it's been a really long time. I mean, since I've been an adult, I have not been in the same place for a year solid.
Crazy.
It's a little crazy, and I'm with you. I actually said to Edgar the other day, because my parents are anxious for us to get out to New Jersey at some point, I said to him, you're going to have to sedate me and pour me into a seat on a plane. That's what it's going to take. I am not down.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I have so many friends that have done it, and they're hypochondriacs like myself, and they've done all right. They've worn 2 masks and the shield, and mostly there's space between everybody. But there was some guy that got on a plane, and he was flying to Salt Lake City, I think, and the plane pulled away from the gate. And he just got up and went, nope, can't do it, can't do it. And I feel that would be me. Nope, go back, I can't do it.
All right, so I will be on the lookout for breaking news for man that stops plane mid-taxi. I'll be like, oh, Jason looks like Jason tried to travel.
He tried. It didn't work. I don't want to get on a plane. I'm so tired of, it's so sad. I went to Vaughn's last week, and I go at senior shopping hour at 8 o'clock, obviously.
Well, because you grade so early in life, and you're like Steve Martin, right?
Exactly. 45 years old, but I look like a senior citizen. Okay, I'm 62. 62 has never felt so young because I'm so far away from getting that vaccine, but it's like, all right. But I just seeing anybody, you're like, other people are the enemy, and it's so weird. It's just so weird.
Yeah. But let's talk for a moment about the pets that you have at your home, both the ones with 4 legs and the ones that flower beautifully, because I think that Glenn cares for your landscaping like you care for, a 4-legged friend.
That was beautifully put, Jen. Yes. I highly recommend being married to a landscape architect because our yard looks really beautiful, and he's. It's lucky that he's the one that stays home all the time, and I'm the one that travels. Because if it was vice versa, this place would look like Grey Gardens. He takes such good care of it. I think he likes the yard better than me, but it's not a contest. But if it was going to be a contest, I think I'd be a distant second. But yeah, it's really beautiful around here.
Really?
And it seems to be spring already. So yes, that is going on, and he's been working through this whole thing, which has been fantastic. After everybody freaked out with the quarantine, and no one, we barely went outside for the first couple months.
Yeah.
And then people started to open their doors and go, oh, we can go out into the lawn, and we want to take care of our yards and this and that. So he's been very busy, which is great. And I love saying goodbye to him in the morning. It's like my favorite thing. Bye. Go make us some money. See ya.
Bye, go take care of other people's plants and yards. Yeah,
Me.
I hadn't thought about that, but with everyone doing these, like, oh, I'm going to have a backyard socially distanced get together, or the birthday parades where people are in cars going past your front lawn.
Yes.
Yeah, of course he would be super busy right now.
Yeah, it's been really, really good. So I'm very grateful that his work can continue if mine can't. But now things are starting to open up a little bit. And yes, we have this terrier, Murray, the border terrier. We call the border terror. And have you met Murray?
Yes.
I don't think you've met him.
No, I think I have.
Did you meet Murray?
Yes. I
You
want
met
to
Roy.
say. I met who?
Roy, our last pup.
That's probably it.
Roy looked like the dog in Lady and the Tramp. Very cute little, it was kind of like a mutt, like a long-haired, red-haired Chihuahua mixed with a Papillon kind of a thing. But Murray's a terrier through and through and delightful. He's just been the MVP around this house. If Glenn and I ever yell at each other, which we do,
No.
from time to time, yeah, no, it's true. I know it's hard to believe that anybody would want to yell at me.
Why would anybody?
Jen, I don't know either.
Do you want me to talk to him?
But
I will.
yes, I wish you would. I'm just sitting here like looking for some conflict every so often. But usually I like leave and go fly somewhere, job or whatever. But if we do ever raise our voices, and we have a really good relationship, we've been together for 21 years, Clymer and I. But if anybody does raise their voice, Murray comes running from whatever room he's in, comes running and licks our faces. He wants peace. He wants happiness.
Aww.
He's such an angel. Dogs are angels.
Yeah.
Dogs are really angels.
He's like
And I was always a
Switzerland.
cat person. What?
He's like Switzerland.
He is so like Switzerland. He is.
It's like, conflict? No, I'm going to be neutral and just lick both of you. And there you go. It's all better.
He is equal opportunity liquor. So we're very grateful. The sad part was we took him to the vet for his checkup last week. And well, the vet immediately called and said, your dog's so sweet, which is like the biggest compliment I've gotten in a year. So I took it. I was like, thank you. Thank you. I did it myself. He had a little cyst at the bottom of it. This is such a good story. He had a little cyst at the base of his spine, like at his right above his tail.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, could you check the cyst? We're a little concerned about it. And it was a tick.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm going to be okay.
Okay.
It was a tick.
Yeah, but is Murray okay? That's the main thing.
Oh, is Murray okay?
Yeah.
My God. I was more worried about me. Yeah, he's fine. Now, he's on anti-tick medication.
Whatever.
Anti-tick.
You're terrible. You're terrible. And it's terrible because I just follow willingly. Like, oh yeah, that's a good joke. So let's say I had a magic wand and I could just make all of the madness disappear. What for you is your next set of like goals for this is a role that I have to play? This is something that I need to accomplish next, because you've done one-man shows, you've hosted award shows, you've been on Broadway, off Broadway, original cast albums, your own album where you're never fully dressed without a smile and a top hat. So what's the next thing for you that you're like, as soon as this is over, I'm doing this?
Wow. That's such a good question. You got me excited to think about it. I haven't been thinking about it. I was like, well, so I'm 62, so I can get my pension in 3 years and Social Security in 4 years, thinking about all those things. I think I told you I was taking writing class.
Yep.
With Claudette Sutherland, who played Smitty in How to Succeed in Business originally. And so I did that all last year, and it was really, really fulfilling. And I wrote a lot of stories, and that was exciting. That got me charged up. And I thought, I'm going to use this. And writing's nice. I can lay around in my pajamas. I don't have to warm up, and I really got into it for a while. But it's like a discipline, and it's sometimes you just don't feel like writing. And sometimes I don't want to like put all that work in. I want to just like go out in front of an audience and just do it. So I'm getting antsy to do that. I'm very excited for this weekend to host this gala. It's a virtual gala, but I'll be standing on stage in the Embarcadero in San Francisco at the Gateway Playhouse, and I'll be doing my stuff live throughout the thing, and everybody else will be home. And I'm just so excited to stand in a theater on a stage. That elates me more than I can tell you. There will be nobody in the audience. There will nobody be laughing. There won't be anything. But to be on a stage again, you know, it just, that thrills me. And I'm going to do in March, and I'll keep you posted so you can tell your friends, but
Please.
I'm going to do my one-man Jerry Herman show at the Carpenter Center in Long Beach.
And will it be virtual? Or
it'll be virtual. I'll be standing on stage at the theater. They'll have cameras. I'll have my wonderful pianist, John Boswell, who's so great out here.
And yeah, great guy.
He's great. He's tall, but he's worth the climb. And thank you. We'll be here all year. But I'm so excited about it. No one will be laughing. I'm trying to negotiate with them right now to have a laugh track. You know? Mm-hmm. I think it's better than the silence. I just to hear a little something. I said, couldn't I have like 20? The theater seats like 1,500, but they just don't, they're not ready to have anybody there. I said, not 10, 15, 20 people. So, but they said a laugh track's possible.
You should also encourage the crew tends to be, you know, we have to be quiet the whole time. This is one of the very rare times where it's like, hey, if you're behind a camera, please laugh, and please laugh loudly, like louder. Yeah, so you can still have that little laugh bed, but in real time, the crew can be vocal.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Just to give you something to play off of.
Right.
I really miss, I mean, all actors do, everybody in the arts do, but just an audience. You know, it's just that energy, that adrenaline rush you get. And I miss sitting in an audience. I miss sitting in an audience with people, not so much at a movie theater, because I find audience members annoying at a movie theater, but in a theater where it's such a live experience, it's that moment and then it's gone. But we're all experiencing that moment together, as well as the actors. That I really look forward to. So, you know, I've got that coming up. I don't know, you know, that I can't imagine. I have dreams. I have dreams about, I had a dream last night that I was back on Broadway and I was with friends, and I was, you know, it just was exciting. And I woke up and I was so mournful that it was just a dream. But I'd love to go back to New York and do a show for a small amount of time. I love living in LA. I love my life here. I love this. It's so beautiful today. And, you know, we'll see. It's the other nice thing. I've been home to audition for TV stuff, and that would be nice to, you know, to do. So we'll see. We'll see where all that goes.
I know we asked you before about your favorite movie, favorite TV show. I'm assuming that hasn't changed, because I've got 7 minutes of Jason Graae gold sitting on my computer ready to screen share, and I just want to go to it. So will you come back again and we'll talk about your favorite pieces of art in film, television, and on the stage?
Oh my God, yes. Isn't that all anybody talks about anymore? All we do is like, so what are you watching? You've got to watch Call My Agent, by the way. Call My Agent. It's in French. You got to read the whole thing, but that's really fantastic.
All right, I will put that down. Call My Agent. We are very fortunate. Phil Rosenthal is going to be with us Wednesday. Have you seen Somebody Eat Phil or Somebody Feed Phil?
Somebody Feed Phil?
Somebody Feed Phil is a Netflix. It's 4 seasons on Netflix, because it's genius and it's just so full of joy, and
he's a genius.
He is a genius, and it's just like you want to, after you see his reactions to things, you just want to give him more food and introduce him to more things, because he's like a clown without makeup. It's very much like, what? That's the best. And he like waves his arms around like he's one of those flappy. Yeah. Oh, it's
that.
Yeah.
He's so good. He's so smart.
Yeah.
So smart.
Okay, we're gonna show Jason's video now. Jason, I adore you more than I have words for. Thank you so much for being with us.
I can't thank you enough. I love you, and I love Mary Jane Miller.
Mary Jane Miller.
And I love the motion picture home, and I'm very grateful to the Actors Fund and everything that you all do, truly. And thank you for having me. You were the highlight of my week.
Well, it is only Tuesday, so it's got a long way to improve.
So far.
Okay.
In the 2 days that we've had, you are the highlight.
I will take that. Thank you so much, Jason. I'm going to show this. We will be back with Christina's Holidays shortly. Enjoy this video featuring Jason Graae. It's going to take me just a second to load it up, but Jason.
Get loaded.
Get loaded. I'm going to get loaded right now. Would you like to stick around and watch this video? Give us a little audio commentary?
Sure.
Here we go.
Sing another song from Wicked. He's a terrific performer. He wanted you to know, Stephen, that you've never cast him in any of your shows. Please welcome Jason Graae.
Brunette.
You know what, that's not totally true. I actually did a production of Godspell off Broadway at the Equity Library Theater. It wasn't a very good production. Yeah, no, you didn't cast me. Yeah, so it wasn't a good production. We called it Godsmell. And it was weird, you know, because Scott Bakula was Jesus. And I know that you're supposed to, like, have attraction for Jesus, but we all wanted to go to bed with him. Subtext, thank you. So erudite. Anyway, this next song I'd like to sing is by Stephen Schwartz. Thank you. And it's a great celebration tonight. If you keep up the good work, you're going to be ready for the theater next year. Whenever I see someone less fortunate than I, and let's face it, who isn't less fortunate than I? My tender heart tends to start to bleed, and when someone needs a makeover, I simply have to take over. I know exactly what they need. And even in your case, oh, it's the toughest case I've yet to face. Don't worry, I'm determined to succeed. Follow my lead. And yes, indeed, you will be mine. Awkward, thank you. Embarrassing. You'll learn. You're gonna be popular. I'll teach you the proper poise when you talk to boys. Little ways to flirt and flout. I'll show you what shoes to wear, how to fix your hair, everything that really counts to be popular. I'll help you be popular. With the right Oh, Stephen, you're beautiful. Oh, and though you protest, notice still to rest. I know clandestinely you're gonna grin and bear it, your newfound popularity. You'll be popular, just not quite as popular.
I gotta stop it now. Stop. Stop,
So
stop.
good. So good.
Yay! Thank you, thank you.
Genius, Graae. Genius.
Come on. Start. Stop. Start.
No, don't. Stop.
Stop.
Nobody sits on a famous person's lap like you do, Jason Graae.
No, I didn't stay long, though. It was like,
Yeah.
he looked so mildly amused.
Yeah, he's a very stoic, like,
Yes. I know. I look at it, it's part of my favorite part of the whole video is that he does laugh sometimes, and sometimes he's looking at me like, who is this guy? How dare you?
With that, we are going to bid both MJ and Jason a very fond adieu until next time, and hopefully in the not too distant future, you can be on this stage right behind me, right beside me.
Oh, I love it. It's so good to see you both. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Stay safe, everybody.
Thank you.